808s and Heartbreak changed hip-hop forever. It bridged the gap between the gangster rap of the 1990s and the melodic rap that the album would inspire from the likes of Drake, Kid Cudi, and its influence can still be felt today. How did Kanye do it? At the time, he was dealing with the death of his mother, Kanye West, due to complications from cosmetic surgery, and also the ending of his relationship with his then fiancée, Alexis Pfeiffer, and he really wanted to encapsulate both these feelings with the newfound pop sound that he had from making Graduation and his newfound success as just a pop star in general instead of just a rapper. Kanye also really wanted to embrace this pop label as he didn't believe that his emotions could just be fully expressed through rapping. He just kept on coming up with these hooks that were just amazing and hidden. His feelings of loss, loneliness, longing for companionship, and a sense of normality inspired this kind of poppy sound on 808s and Heartbreaks that kind of just shows exactly what Kanye was feeling at the time. West later said this album was therapeutic, it's lonely at the top, and especially with the loss of his mother and the loss of his relationship with his fiancée, there was no one really there that could understand his feelings and really understand what he was going through, so it was just kind of him there. In an interview with Fader, he also said he wanted his label to list it as a pop album because he wanted to show people that pop music could still be good and like cool, and he wanted to make music that everyone could just enjoy. Kanye recorded the album in a span of 3 weeks, split between Hawaii and California, and drew inspiration from artists like Phil Collins and other synth pop artists of the 1980s. He said that the quickness of producing the album allowed him to get his emotions out exactly as he wanted them to sound, saying, "Is it better if I took 5 years than if it took 5 minutes? I feel like all the words are in you. You're just blocking yourself. You're blocking your creativity if it takes longer for the actual words to come out of you." West utilized the sounds created by the 808 drum machine and manipulated its pitch to create a distorted electronic sound, an effect he referred to as the heartbreak of the 808s and Heartbreak. West also credits rapper Kid Cudi, who he later signed to his label Good Music, with helping creating the album's stark, brooding sound, which kind of sounds like Cudi's debut single, Day and Night, which is really where he kind of got inspired to make 808s and Heartbreak and have Cudi collaborate on it. The pair actually worked together in the studio while watching and like listening to films such as like The Close Encounters of the Third Kind, stuff that kind of had that dark and brooding sound or like feel play silently in the background. Ultimately, Kid Cudi co-wrote 4 songs on 808s and Heartbreak, the first being the chorus on Heartless, and he had a really big impact on the sound of the album in general. Kanye also began to use auto-tune because he believed it really embraced his childlike sentimentalities, saying it's like a little boy looking at colors and no one told him what colors are good, and before someone tells you you shouldn't like pink, that's for girls. Why would anyone pick blue over pink? Pink is obviously a better color. Everyone's born confident and everything's taken away from you. So many people try to put their personality on someone else, especially me. They try to suggest what I should do. What I want people to realize at this point is I don't give a fuck. That's why I made this album. I'm using auto-tune because I don't give a fuck. I like the way it sounds. Kanye also brought T-Pain in to make the 808 sound more like T-Pain's debut album. Kanye also later went on to state that he enjoyed the kind of electronic feel produced by the auto-tune sound, and he sought to juxtapose the mechanical sounds with the traditional sounds of taiko drums and choir monks. And he said, "I never even thought about it like that. I just thought about what I wanted to hear when I was making music. Just like hook after hook after hook after hook after hook. It's like the musical version of an Obama speech." Kanye also took inspiration from bands like Radiohead, calling Love Lockdown a great accomplishment of the sound of like Tom York in the strip club. Kanye also wanted the album to be about men opening up and sharing their feelings, saying, "Yeah, I'm the only voice for guys because rap dudes don't want to rap about love, and R&B dudes rap about love like I want to love you." So Pink and Ciara are making all these songs about these male bashing songs, so I'm the only dude to like speak up for guys from an intelligent, really been in a relationship type perspective. West also compared 808s and Heartbreak to the ABCs, claiming it takes experience to be a good communicator because it's like, how do you want to communicate? The thing is getting the point across, and I think in music, message and melody are the keys. It's the reason why people teach you the ABCs with melody behind it, and 808s and Heartbreak is the ABCs of life and relationships. Before even releasing, people were so confused about the 808s and Heartbreak's release because they were thinking they're going to love the album, or it was just bewilderment and indifference to the album's concept. Upon the premiere of Love Lockdown, Tom York at the strip club, at the MTV Music Awards, music audiences were taken aback by the uncharacteristic production style and the presence of auto-tune. The negative feedback intensified when West revealed the entire album would be primarily sung with the auto-tune rather than just rapped, and would focus on themes of love and heartache. And when it actually did come out, audiences were pretty indifferent with the album. They weren't really loving it, and they thought that the departure from Kanye West's original sound was a lot different and wasn't really what they were looking for. But I think as time has gone on, people have really begun to love it. And critics at the time were actually loving the album, with some saying it's a triumph and this should not work, but recklessly departing from the commercial copper-bottom script and venturing far beyond West's comfort zone, it's a triumph. And he uses the 808 drum machine and the auto-tune vocal effect to channel his feelings of hurt, anger, and doubt through his well-crafted lyrics. And yeah, as the time's gone on, fans have begun to love it, with sites like Rate Your Music showing that as time's gone on, critical reception from the public has clearly gotten better and better and better. And just as other artists use the melodic structures and melodic elements that Kanye created on this album, other people can see that its influence can be seen everywhere in hip-hop today. And it has kind of created a lot of subgenres that have become the most popular parts of music that we hear today. 808s and Heartbreak has come to define the rap of the 2010s and 2020s, with artists like Drake, XXXTentacion, and Juice WRLD being directly inspired from the sounds of this album. Although at the time 808s and Heartbreak wasn't nearly as successful as any of Kanye's past albums, selling about half of what Graduation did with a day extra of sales, and getting pretty similar sales to what College Dropout did, the album is still extremely popular to this day, with Heartless having over 850 million streams and being one of Kanye's most popular songs, while 808s and Heartbreak hasn't aged as well as some of the albums it inspired did, as songs like Pinocchio Story and Bad News are still very forgettable tracks to this day. It has helped create the music environment we live in today, with pop, rap, and trap dominating the charts and streaming services, and pushing rap to be in the forefront of music today, being the most popular genre. So 808s and Heartbreak has just inspired so much stuff and has such an unforgettable history behind it. And we'd never know where we'd be without the influence of 808s and Heartbreak, because it's changed and defined our genre so much now, because pop rap has gotten so popular. Just looking at an artist like Drake, have to at least like one song from Drake. There's so many interesting songs out there, and I feel like there's at least something that someone will like coming from Drake's music, and all that inspiration and influence came from this album. And if Kanye hadn't released such a great album in 808s and Heartbreak, this wouldn't have ever happened, and without having those real raw emotions put into his music, we might have never got artists who actually want to sing about their emotions, like emo rap and melodic rap. And it's just changed rap for the last decade or so, and it's worked so well. If you guys did like this video, watch the video on the left next, and you can watch my full playlist of all videos like this on the right, or just subscribe in the middle.